The true nature of mental toughness, why few ever master it. Everyone admires mental toughness, but few genuinely grasp what it takes to build it. It's not about being fearless or immune to stress, it's about developing the inner strength to keep moving forward despite fear, pain, and uncertainty. While most people crumble under pressure, there exists a rare breed of individuals who've learned to endure, adapt, and thrive. Not because they had a choice, but because life gave them no other option. Certain personality types, especially those who walk their own path, develop resilience differently. From an early age, they are forced to rely on themselves, navigating challenges without the safety net of groupthink or social validation. Unlike their peers, who often find comfort in conformity and external support, these individuals sharpen their instincts, trust their judgment, and learn to solve problems independently. Sigma males, in particular, don't become mentally tough through privilege or natural advantage. They are forged by their circumstances, shaped by the silent battles they fight alone. Picture the quiet kid in school who never quite fit into a clique yet never seemed to care. The one who observed more than he spoke, who never sought attention, but always seemed to understand more than he let on. Or think about that one colleague who remains unfazed during workplace chaos, not because stress doesn't affect him, but because he has mastered the art of processing it differently. Angela Duckworth, a leading researcher on grit, has emphasized that mental toughness isn't about being unbreakable. It's about developing the ability to endure discomfort and push forward. For Sigma males, this is second nature, not because they are emotionless, but because they have spent years navigating life's obstacles without the usual support systems that most people take for granted. But this isn't about glorifying isolation or the lone wolf mentality. It's about recognizing how certain life experiences force individuals to develop resilience in ways that many never will. Their strength isn't born from arrogance, it's carved from the necessity of facing life head-on, without a guide, without reassurance, and without the illusion of external validation. Let's dive deeper into 6 defining reasons why Sigma males possess a level of mental toughness that sets them apart, not because they are better than others, but because their journey demands a resilience that few will ever truly understand. 1. They don't play the victim card. Modern psychology reveals a stark contrast in how people handle life's unfairness. While most default to a why me mindset, blaming circumstances, external forces, or other people for their misfortunes, Sigma males take an entirely different approach. Neuroscience sheds light on why this difference exists. The victim mentality actually triggers a dopamine response, the brain's feel-good chemical. This is why complaining, blaming others, or wallowing in self-pity can feel so satisfying in the short term. It's like emotional candy, temporarily sweet but ultimately empty. For most people, this dopamine hit becomes addictive. They unconsciously seek out reasons to feel wrong, collecting evidence of how life has been unfair to them. They build elaborate narratives about their struggles, often sharing them with others to gain sympathy or validation. While this might provide momentary relief, it traps them in a cycle of helplessness and stagnation. The more they focus on what's been done to them, the less energy they have to change their circumstances. Sigma males, however, operate from what psychologists call an internal locus of control. This doesn't mean they're stronger or better than others. It simply means their brains process accountability differently. When faced with adversity, they don't waste time asking, "Why me?" Instead, they ask, "What can I do about it?" Where most people see roadblocks, Sigma males automatically scan for alternate routes. They don't dwell on what's outside their control. They focus on what they can influence. For example, imagine a Sigma male who loses his job unexpectedly. While others might spend weeks venting about the unfairness of the situation, blaming their boss or the economy, he takes a different approach. He acknowledges the setback but quickly shifts his focus to actionable steps. He updates his resume, networks with industry contacts, and explores new opportunities, all without wasting energy on blame or self-pity. This isn't because he's immune to disappointment. It's because he's learned that dwelling on the problem only prolongs the pain. Social scientists refer to this mindset as radical responsibility, the rare ability to own both problems and solutions. It's not something that's taught or learned in a traditional sense. It's a natural extension of the Sigma male's independent nature. Even when genuinely wronged, their focus remains locked on what they can control. They understand that the victim mindset is like quicksand. The more you struggle against unfairness, the deeper you sink. True power isn't in proving you've been wronged. It's in refusing to let that wrong define your next move. This approach doesn't just help Sigma males navigate challenges more effectively. It also gives them a profound sense of agency. They don't see themselves as passive recipients of life's circumstances but as active participants who can shape their own destiny. As the saying goes, life is 10% what happens to you and 90% how you react to it. Sigma males embody this principle, turning every setback into an opportunity for growth. 2. They see betrayal as evolution. Betrayal is one of life's most painful experiences. It cuts deeper than other kinds of pain because it shakes the very foundation of trust. For most people, betrayal becomes a wall, something that makes them close off, shut down, and stop trusting altogether. The human brain processes betrayal in the same regions as physical pain. Dr. Robert Sapolsky's research shows that social rejection activates identical neural pathways as bodily injuries. This explains why betrayal feels so visceral and why most people's natural response is to withdraw and protect themselves. But Sigma males handle betrayal differently. Instead of letting it become a permanent scar, they transform it into a catalyst for change. Just like forged steel, the strongest bonds are created under intense heat, and for Sigma males, betrayal becomes the heat that forges their mental toughness. Their minds naturally seek patterns and lessons in every experience, even the painful ones. What stands out is their response pattern. While others get stuck in the pain and never trust again, Sigma males process betrayal like a software update. Each incident refines their understanding of people, sharpens their intuition, and upgrades their ability to navigate relationships. This perspective shift doesn't happen overnight. The initial pain hits just as hard for Sigma males as it does for anyone else. The same anger surges, the same trust issues surface. But something different happens in the aftermath. Instead of building walls, they build better filters. They don't let the betrayal define their worldview or dictate their future interactions. Instead, they use it as a learning experience. For example, consider a Sigma male who is betrayed by a close friend. While others might cut off all ties and swear never to trust anyone again, he takes a more measured approach. He acknowledges the hurt but also examines the situation objectively. What red flags did he miss? What boundaries could he have set? How can he protect himself from similar betrayals in the future? This isn't about blaming himself, it's about extracting valuable lessons from the experience. Brené Brown, a leading researcher on vulnerability and resilience, says that resilience often comes from reframing our relationship with pain. While betrayal isn't a pleasant experience, it does propel Sigma males toward sharper instincts, clearer boundaries, and stronger judgment. They learn to trust their intuition more, to recognize red flags earlier, and to set boundaries that protect their emotional well-being. Every betrayal leaves a lesson, and Sigma males are adept at finding it. The trick isn't avoiding the pain, it's using it to evolve. Sigma males understand that betrayal is an inevitable part of life. People will let you down, disappoint you, and sometimes hurt you intentionally. But instead of letting these experiences harden their hearts, they use them to grow stronger and wiser. They don't become cynical or closed off. They become more discerning. They don't stop trusting altogether. They learn to trust more selectively. This ability to turn pain into growth is one of the hallmarks of the Sigma male's mental toughness. It's not about being invincible or unaffected. It's about finding meaning in the struggle and using it to become a better version of themselves. In the end, betrayal doesn't break them, it makes them. 3. They fight their battles in silence. Have you ever felt that gut-wrenching moment when life hits hard, when everything inside you screams to let it out, to tell someone, anyone, about what you're going through? It's human nature. Most of us need to share our pain to process it. We seek comfort in the empathy of others, the reassurance that we're not alone, and the validation that our struggles matter. But there's a different way, a quieter, more introspective path that Sigma males often take. While most people seek solace through sharing their struggles, Sigma males handle life's challenges differently. This isn't because they're inherently stronger or better than others, but because they've found their own way through the storm, one that doesn't involve venting, complaining, or seeking validation. Most people mistake this silence for emotional detachment or even depression, but depression paralyzes and drains you. It's a weight that makes even the simplest tasks feel impossible. A Sigma's silence, on the other hand, is the opposite. It's focused, purposeful, and action-oriented. They're not hiding from their problems. They're tackling them head-on just without an audience. You might know someone like this, while others wear their struggles openly, sharing every detail on social media or seeking constant reassurance from friends. The Sigma male keeps moving forward quietly. His demeanor stays steady, his routine doesn't change. To the outside world, he appears unshaken, almost indifferent. But beneath the surface, he's dealing with challenges that would shake most people to their core. It's ironic, in a world where every struggle needs witnesses, where every battle needs an audience, Sigma males fight their battles in silence. They could be facing their toughest challenge, a crumbling relationship, a financial crisis, or a personal loss, and you'd never know it. Not because they're trying to be mysterious or secretive, but because that's simply how they handle life's hits. This ability to endure in silence often stems from their early life experiences. Many Sigma males grow up in environments where expressing vulnerability was discouraged or even punished. Perhaps they were raised in households where emotions were seen as a weakness, or they learned early on that sharing their struggles only led to judgment or indifference. Over time, they internalized the belief that the only person they could truly rely on was themselves. This isn't a conscious choice, it's a survival mechanism that becomes second nature. For example, imagine a Sigma male going through a painful breakup. While others might turn to friends for comfort, post about their heartbreak online, or seek distractions to numb the pain, he retreats into himself. He doesn't deny the pain or pretend it doesn't exist, he simply processes it differently. He might spend hours reflecting on what went wrong, analyzing his own role in the relationship's failure, and planning how to move forward. He doesn't seek validation or sympathy because he doesn't need it. His focus is on healing and growth, not on gaining approval or pity from others. This doesn't mean Sigma males are emotionally closed off or incapable of forming deep connections. They can and do feel deeply, often more intensely than others. But they've learned to channel their emotions inward, using them as fuel for self-improvement rather than as a cry for help. This inward focus gives them a unique kind of strength. They don't need external validation to feel worthy or capable. Their sense of self-worth comes from within. The real power of this silent resilience lies in its subtlety. Sigma males don't broadcast their struggles because they don't need to. They understand that true strength isn't about how many people know about your battles. It's about how you face them when no one's looking. This quiet determination often goes unnoticed, but it's deeply impactful. It's the kind of strength that doesn't need to be seen to be felt. In a world that often equates vulnerability with strength, where sharing every detail of one's life is seen as a sign of authenticity, Sigma males stand apart. They remind us that there's another way to be strong, not by seeking attention or validation, but by facing life's challenges with quiet resolve. Their silence isn't a sign of weakness, it's a testament to their inner fortitude. Even from a young age, Sigma males exhibit this trait. Think of that quiet kid in school who never quite fit in with any clique but seemed unfazed by social pressure. While others sought validation from their peers, he marched to the beat of his own drum. He didn't need an audience to feel seen or heard. His sense of self was enough. This early independence often sets the foundation for the silent resilience they carry into adulthood. The irony is that this very silence often makes Sigma males more intriguing to others. In a world where everyone is constantly sharing, oversharing, and seeking attention, their quiet strength stands out. People are drawn to their mystery, their calm demeanor, and their ability to handle life's challenges without fanfare. But for the Sigma male, this isn't a performance or a strategy, it's simply who they are. In the end, the real lesson Sigma males teach us is this: true power isn't in how loudly you fight your battles, but in how well you fight them when no one's watching. Their silence isn't empty, it's full of purpose, resilience, and an unshakable belief in their ability to overcome. For they turn pain into purpose. Pain is one of life's constants. Everyone experiences failure, heartbreak, disappointment, and setbacks. And yet, How people respond to pain is what separates the weak from the resilient. Most people instinctively try to run from pain, to numb it with distractions, or drown it in self-pity. They see suffering as something to be avoided at all costs. But Sigma males, they see it differently. To them, pain isn't just something to endure, it's a raw material for transformation. Imagine a blacksmith forging a sword. The metal isn't shaped by comfort, it's shaped by intense heat and relentless pressure. Sigma males view their struggles the same way. When life knocks them down, they don't waste time feeling sorry for themselves. Instead of dwelling on why did this happen to me, their mindset shifts to how can I use this? Lost a job. That's the push to finally build something of their own. Heartbroken. That's fuel for self-improvement and personal growth. Betrayed. That's a lesson in reading people better and setting stronger boundaries. This isn't toxic positivity or blind optimism, it's hardwired realism. Sigmas know that pain isn't optional, but suffering is. And by choosing to extract meaning from hardship, they rob pain of its power. You can see this in their behavior during hard times. While most people get trapped in the poor me cycle, dwelling on their misfortune and waiting for external rescue, a Sigma male quietly recalibrates. He withdraws, reflects, and starts plotting his next move. Every setback becomes a stepping stone, every loss fuels his next victory. And here's the crazy part: once you start looking at pain this way, it no longer feels like defeat. Instead, it becomes the setup for a comeback. That's why Sigma males seem unfazed by adversity. It's not because they don't feel pain, it's because they've trained themselves to make pain work for them. 5. They face struggles independently, without relying on others. Life's toughest moments reveal a harsh truth: sometimes, you're on your own. For most people, this realization is terrifying. From childhood, we're taught to seek help, lean on others, and build support networks. And while this advice is often valuable, Sigma males have walked a different path, not by choice, but through circumstances that force them to stand alone. For many Sigma males, this journey begins early. Perhaps it was a childhood marked by emotional neglect, where they learned that expressing vulnerability often led to disappointment. Maybe it was a series of betrayals in their formative years, where trusted friends or family members failed to show up when it mattered most. Over time, these experiences taught them a hard but invaluable lesson: the only person you can truly count on is yourself. This isn't to say that Sigma males are incapable of forming connections or seeking help. They can and do, but their default mode is self-reliance. Psychologists refer to this as learned self-reliance, a mindset forged through repeated experiences of having to navigate challenges independently. Daniel Goleman, a pioneer in emotional intelligence research, explains that some individuals develop unique neural pathways for handling stress. Instead of instinctively seeking external comfort, their minds automatically shift into problem-solving mode. This isn't necessarily better or worse than relying on others. It's simply a different way of processing adversity. Consider the Sigma male who loses his job. While others might immediately turn to friends, family, or social media for support, he retreats into himself. He doesn't wallow in self-pity or seek validation from others. Instead, he assesses the situation, identifies his options, and begins taking actionable steps, whether it's updating his resume, learning a new skill, or exploring entrepreneurial opportunities. This isn't because he's emotionally cold or detached. It's because he's learned that waiting for others to save him is a losing strategy. This self-reliance often leads to a unique kind of strength. Sigma males develop an almost unshakable confidence in their ability to handle whatever life throws at them. They don't fear solitude because they've learned to thrive in it. They don't panic in the face of uncertainty because they've built a mental toolkit for navigating the unknown. And while the world often tells us that we need constant support to succeed, Sigma males prove that sometimes the strongest growth happens when no one's there to catch you. This doesn't mean they reject help entirely. If someone offers genuine support, they'll accept it, but they won't depend on it. Their strength lies in their ability to stand alone when necessary, to face challenges head-on without the safety net of external validation. It's a quiet, understated kind of resilience that often goes unnoticed but is deeply powerful. 6. They control their reactions, not their environment. Our brains are wired for quick reactions, It's an ancient survival mechanism. When something threatens our comfort zone, a sudden loss, a harsh criticism, or an unexpected setback, emotions flood in fast. The heart races, muscles tense, and thoughts scatter. For most people, this emotional wave is overwhelming, dictating their actions and shaping their reality. A cancelled plan ruins their day, a critical comment ruins their week. A life setback feels like the end of the world. Their inner state becomes a mirror of their outer circumstances. Sigma males, however, show a different pattern. Leading research in emotional regulation points to a key difference: the gap between stimulus and response. It's not that Sigma males feel less or are immune to emotional triggers. They experience the same initial surge of anger, frustration, or fear as anyone else. But what sets them apart is what happens in that crucial moment after the feeling hits. Think of it like driving a car. Most people let emotions take the wheel, steering them wherever feelings flow. They react impulsively, sending that angry text, making that hasty decision, or spiraling into despair. A Sigma male, on the other hand, stays in the driver's seat. The same emotions hit, the same impulses surge. But instead of acting on them immediately, he pauses. He assesses the situation. He chooses his move deliberately. Viktor Frankl, a renowned psychiatrist and Holocaust survivor, named this phenomenon the space between stimulus and response. In his seminal work, Man's Search for Meaning, Frankl wrote, "Between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. In our response lies our growth and our freedom." For Sigma males, this space becomes their power zone. This ability to control their reactions is rooted in a deep understanding of emotional regulation. Sigma males don't suppress their feelings, they process them differently. They recognize that emotions are temporary and that acting on them impulsively often leads to regret. Instead, they channel their energy into constructive action. For example, if a Sigma male receives harsh criticism at work, he doesn't lash out or internalize the negativity. He steps back, evaluates the feedback objectively, and uses it to improve or dismisses it if it's unfounded. This emotional control extends to all areas of life. When faced with a personal betrayal, a Sigma male doesn't seek revenge or wallow in self-pity. He acknowledges the pain, learns from the experience, and moves forward with renewed clarity. When confronted with a high-pressure situation, he remains calm and focused, making decisions based on logic rather than fear. The real difference shows in daily life. While others are tossed around by the ups and downs of their circumstances, Sigma males maintain a steady course. They understand that they can't control what happens to them, but they can always control how they respond. This isn't about being stoic or emotionless. It's about mastering the art of emotional resilience. When life throws a curveball, true power isn't in controlling the pitch. It's in controlling your swing. Sigma males exemplify this principle. They don't waste energy trying to change what's outside their control. Instead, they focus on what they can control: their thoughts, their actions, and their reactions. This mindset not only helps them navigate challenges more effectively but also gives them a profound sense of inner peace and stability. If you found this video insightful or relatable, why not join our growing community? Subscribe to the channel for more content exploring the mindsets, traits, and behaviors of Sigma males. Your engagement helps us dive deeper into these unique perspectives. Be sure to like this video if it resonated with you, share it with someone who might appreciate it, and leave your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear your perspective. Thank you for taking the time to watch. Remember, as a Sigma male or someone inspired by their path, staying true to yourself is the ultimate strength. Keep evolving, stay strong, and we'll see you in the next video.